Aloha, everybody. It is I, the Great Clement, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it's part 18. We're here at the Holoska Gaia Gate. I still have to get the 2 moon medals hanging up here, and this is where all the tiny ledges start coming into play, and we'll be seeing more of that when we get to the HD level, but, you know that time of day again. It's nighttime, so we have more Werehog, which means I brought another guest in. So, introduce yourself, good sir.
Hello, my name is Gareth, though some people may know me as FTA.
He's British!
Oh my god! Ah!
And, you did like a playthrough of this with, Entom on the Hellfire Comms channel like, 5 or so years ago, right?
Yes, years ago. I want to say I finally made it to the big leagues. No more FTCR, no more HFC, no more Brain Scratch. I'm finally on Clement's channel, yes!
You're in the A-list YouTubers now, my friend.
I'm totally getting laid tonight, yes!
And, now we get to talk over the most exciting part of the game, the, Werehog sections here in Cool Edge Night.
Did we really need 3 switches? Surely 1 would have done the job at that point. Was there really a need for 3?
Who's designing all this, anyway? Was that, like, the Gaia Temple's plans? Was that just, like, how it's supposed to be? Like, if you want to restore Chaos Emeralds, you have to flip 3 switches and stuff?
Well, I forget, like, in the HD version, you don't actually go in the Gaia temples, do you? I forget. I thought it was only the Wii version where you actually spend time inside the actual temples, and all of them look exactly the same.
Yeah. And they're all like this, they have this little hub, like, gateway teleporter thing. So, like, even when you use the teleporter, it's hard to know which temple you're in. You just go by, like, colors. So, like, I see, like, blue, and it's like, I guess that's Holoska, because it's blue.
I love the fact that whoever designed those temples decided that in a couple thousand years, Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be needing some lives, so we better make some puzzles so we can turn time forward and become a werewolf for half a second so we climb up a wall. Genius. And
it's great that when the Earth shattered, someone scattered all the sun and moon medals all over the place for Sonic to go and collect.
I truly like to believe that's Eggman. That's like the best thing Eggman ever did.
What's best the plan in having my plan succeed without any challenge?
For both me and the Hedgehog. I'll make him collect medals before he can progress.
Damn it, Eggman, this is the worst plan you've ever had! So, Gareth, I assume you've played the Wii version as well as the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 version of Sonic Unleashed?
Yes, the Wii version was actually the one I played first, because at the time it came out, I just had the Wii, so I remember getting it the day it came out, taking it home, and I like Unleashed. It's not one of my favorite games. It probably wouldn't even crack my top 10, but I'm glad it was made. You know, for what it is, it's a fun game. I think you and I kind of share the same belief that the Wii version isn't. You know, a lot of people like to cite the Wii version as just being a piece of shit. I actually like the Wii version. I think it does. I kind of agree with you when you're saying the best version would be kind of like a hybrid of Wii and HD. Because like each of them have you know, good points and strong points, and one of the things I actually like about the Wii version is how it's it's not as boost to win as the HD version, because the boost is quite restrictive, as you pointed out, which I think that kind of just makes for you have to be more smart with the way you use your boost in the Wii version as opposed to HD, where you can just boost the fuck out of everything.
Yeah, I love how every time you go boost happy in the Wii version, not only do you only have like 6 chances anyway, but you know, there are walls everywhere, and if you're not drifting at the right corners, or if you keep boosting when there's like all these pillars around, Sonic just goes smash.
Yes, that's like the greatest addition ever. It's so annoying that they took it out of like colors and like generations and stuff.
Well, it encourages gamers to like slow down a bit and stop going crazy with it, because then they just make Sonic look like an idiot who's just constantly running into walls and shit.
See, Dibs put more thought into it than Sonic Team did.
But so overall, did you like it gameplay-wise? Like, the day stages, do you ever find yourself coming back to Sonic Unleashed, is I guess what I would say?
Not really, not since Colors and the Generations. I actually find I know you feel that this game isn't boost to win. I feel just compared to Colors and Generations, I do find the level design is slightly too linear for me. There's not like Colors, like, I know Colors is slightly more 2D, but I find that there's more platforming in both of those games. Also, I remember just playing the Wii version. The first time I played it, took me a couple of levels to get used to the way Sonic controls, because he's a lot stiffer compared to, we used to say, like SA1. I still think SA1 is some of the most fluid controls. It's like the Sonic can just turn 360 with no problems. Just easy as shit. And Unleashed is kind of like I find it slightly like Resident Evil, where you have to kind of like stop still and like turn around very slowly, and then Sonic can like reverse. But I don't know. Like this to me, I just found like it was slightly stiff. It wasn't as fluid as how I would, how I remembered playing Sonic. I guess the last game before that I played was Shadow, which not really a great game to compare it to. I know, but.
Yeah, the other thing I like about the Sonic Adventure games is not only is like the control a lot more tighter, it's a lot more fun to try and pull off like shortcuts and stuff.
Oh yeah, especially in SA1 of how broken the spin dash is. It's amazing.
It's like anytime you get to like a slanted hill, you rev up the spin dash, and then just before you reach the top of that hill, you jump at the right time, and Sonic can go like so far through the sky. And I remember I'd always skip through like the first intro part of Ice Cap all the time.
See, that's what I was kind of hoping they do for Lost World, but that spin dash is completely worthless, so let's just never talk about it again.
I don't use it. And it's actually I actually hear people tell me, like, I remember I did a vlog review of Sonic Lost World, and apparently one person said like my footage was boring because I wasn't using the spin dash a lot, and I was like, that tends to get me killed.
Spin dash doesn't do anything. It's probably one of the worst spin dashes in a Sonic game. It's
just the levels aren't really meant for it. It's more about like jumping around and moving left and right on the tubular design, and the spin dash is just very stiff, and it just sort of takes you in one direction, and you better hope it's the direction you want to go, otherwise.
Oh, see, like, the thing about the spin dash was it was always meant to give you instant speed to like traverse up a steep hill, but everything in Lost World is flat, so you never really need that speed to go up anything, so it's kind of worthless.
Yeah. Oh, that theme song over and over and over again.
This theme song is actually what made my wife sell this game. She was like, I can't put up with the fucking Werehog theme, like, again. So she got like halfway through the game. I was like, fuck it, I'm selling this game. It's a piece of shit.
I mean, it's just like, they could have done it like Kingdom Hearts, where each specific like level has its own battle theme or something.
Yeah. Which I remember when the soundtrack was first ripped, because I always have to get the soundtrack the second it gets online. I remember
Yeah.
like the Werehog battle. I remember specifically it had 4 different versions. It had like a Werehog battle theme like A, B, C, and D, and then like you play the game, and then like you realize that those tracks were just started at a slightly different point. They were actually the exact same track. But I remember thinking, 4 themes, that's amazing. And then you play, and it's like, nope, it's just the same thing over and over again.
So wait, it happens more than once in the soundtrack itself?
No, in the first game rips, there was 4. Like whoever first ripped the soundtrack,
okay.
like had made like 4 versions of the Werehog theme. And again, like I think you've said this, but like the Werehog theme, like the first time you hear it, like this is some bitchin' jazz, like we haven't heard jazz in a Sonic game for a few years. I'm liking this, but then it's just over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't hate the battle theme by itself. Like, if you use it in anything else out of context of this game, you would love listening to it. It's just, every time you're playing this game, it just comes up like every 10 seconds, so it gets to the point where every reviewer or anyone who talks about it, they like to go, da-na-da-na-da-na, because we know that part, we know that jingle now, verbatim, because we just have to keep doing it over and over and over again. And the problem, again, the Werehog levels are so long, the Cool Edge level, I'd done it by now if it was the daytime stage.
Oh yeah.
But here, I'm only in the second of 3 Wii levels.
Yeah, which, to quickly go back to the music, I'd love to have seen the conversation between, like, the game's director and Tomio Uchini, where, like, we need 1 battle theme. It's like, you sure you don't want more than 1? Because it looks like we're going to use it an awful lot of times. Nah, 1's fine, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But, like, that's another thing, like, I don't get why they chose to have lots of shorter ones in the Wii version. I mean, like, I would have kind of preferred if it was more like Haiti was just one. Because I remember the first time playing it, getting incredibly frustrated with, like, I hope, because the first time you play it, it doesn't tell you how many Werehog levels you have per continent. So I remember I'd be like, okay, after this one, daytime stage, nope, fucking another Werehog level. Okay, after this, daytime stage, nope, another Werehog level.
Yeah.
which I'll be honest, like I have no problem with the Werehog as a character. I think, you know, the beat 'em up aspect is fun, and you know, I think you touched upon this earlier, but I would have, you know, it wouldn't have improved the game for me, but I would have loved it if it was Knuckles. I think that would have been pretty sweet to have Knuckles do something meaningful for once. But like the way the Werehog controls, I have no problem with. I think the issue with him is more his level design. I think his levels are, for the most part, just monotonous. It's just, you know, run into a room, beat up a bunch of people, jump a bit, beat up some more people, climb a bit, beat up some more people, end of level. Rinse repeat for like 100 levels in the Wii version.
Yeah. To the HD version's credit, although the platforming is a little bit more frustrating than the Wii version, there are a lot of encounters in the HD version that you can actually completely run by. And if you don't care about getting the S rank and you're really just trying to get Sun and Moon medals and just keep moving, you can actually walk by a lot of enemies in this game. But of course, every now and then you'll get like this force field that comes up that makes it so you have to fight. It's the biggest speedrunning tip I can give for like the final level, because if you actually stop to fight every single Dark Gaia monster and Eggman robot in the final level, oh my god, does that level... Well, you'll see it. It's the worst final level of all time, but...
Although I will say one plus for the Wii version, even though the HD version is powered by the awesomeness that is the Hedgehog engine, only the Wii version Werehog has a shadow. Suck on that, Hedgehog engine!
I don't know, what the hell's up with that? Apparently they thought lighting in... As long as there's nighttime, there's no such thing as lighting for shadows.
That's the thing. When I watched Johnny with you talk about that, like I tweeted that, like, you know, I made a joke like the Hedgehog engine is so powerful, how come there's no shadow at night? And so many people literally responded with, because it's nighttime, there's no sun. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, what is wrong with the education of young people? Yes, because there's no sunlight, there's no light whatsoever. That would cause a shadow to form. Good job. Good job.
God damn it, kids! System. Go outside.
No, I was like, okay, if it's nighttime, put on a lamp and see if a shadow appears. Oh no, there's no shadow!
It's like, well, you've never looked around your room, you've never cast a shadow over something in your room?
I know, right? Well, I know, like, to go back to something you said earlier about the platforming as a whole is kind of treated better in the HD version. I would say my two favourite Werehog levels are on the Wii version. I forget which ones exactly, but there's one in Chunnan, which watching your LP and you pronouncing it Chunnan made me realise I'd been pronouncing it wrong for years. I've been calling it Chunan, but I'm like, yes, there is a N in that first word. It should be pronounced Chun. So I want to thank you for exposing me for the moron I am. So
I thought you knew it was there. I thought you were pronouncing it Chun-nan.
No, I was pronouncing it Chunan, like Pikachu-nan. Like that's how I was pronouncing it for years. I was like, damn it, I'm an idiot. But yeah, there's a level in the Wii version where you have to climb up this like waterfall. And I remember that level, and I think it's the second to last Eggman Land level where the camera completely stays in 2D. Now I haven't replayed Unleashed Wii in years, so it's possible that if I return to the game, I could just be like, you know what, these levels suck, fuck this game. But I remember after first playing it, those levels stood out to me as like, those are really fun Werehog levels.
Yeah, that's very possible. I found, coming back to Unleashed, there have been at least 2 levels that were better than I remembered, and then there have been like 3 levels that were worse than I remembered. It's weird because I haven't played this game in like 5 years, except for like the day stages. I always come back to the day stages every once a year, every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
But coming back to the Werehog, I haven't touched it ever because, again, it's a part of the game that, if this game was all Werehog, it would be perfectly acceptable, it would be perfectly fine, but I still wouldn't come back to play it. It's like, I don't know, I guess I could compare it to like Sonic Chaos or Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear, where there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't feel the need to come back to it all that much, you know? And playing some of the Wii Werehog levels, especially the Adabat ones, wow, they're worse than I remembered.
Well, see, the thing about the Werehog levels for both versions is that they, like, with the daytime stages, I can remember them pretty good, but for most of the Werehog levels, they just kind of blend together to me. Like, I could, apart from the Chunnan waterfall and the Eggman Land 2D perspective level, I couldn't tell you what level was what from like which continent. I just, like, there's a level where you climb up shit. Could be any of them. I don't fucking know.
And in that earlier room, you saw my character. I was jumping all the time when I was going on these very tiny ice pillars, because on ice you are slippery, and on the Wii you have like two speeds. You're either kind of fast or you're straight up running.
Yeah, which is again something that the fact that I think again as you pointed out, the how to run in the HD version miles better. It's just so much more easy to use on the HD version.
Because the problem is when I'm balancing on like these tiny ledges, I'm stopping myself so I don't go too far, and then I'm pushing it again to go in a different direction. But sometimes it doesn't register that way. Sometimes it registers as if he wants to sprint. So then I just sprint right off the ice block. So what I was doing in the back room, I was just constantly jumping so that I didn't like sprint too far, or that I didn't walk off or slide off, and that one was like really awkward platforming for me.
Like I know, Wii Unleashed gets overshadowed by its HD version, but I think for a Wii game, graphically it's pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will say though the Werehog's model is not the best. Like whenever it starts to level and it shows you a close-up of his face, he just looks so derpy. I'm just like, yeah, that could have the Werehog Wii model could have used a bit more work, I think.
The one thing I discovered is that I actually looked up footage of the PlayStation 2 version, and even though it is the same game, like the same levels and everything, I did notice that obviously the Wii version is definitely a better graphically game than the PlayStation 2 one. The models are a lot less polished in the PlayStation 2 one. It's a lot more... I guess comparing Sonic Heroes on PlayStation 2 to Sonic Heroes on GameCube, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense to me. Yes, because I grew up on the PS2 version of Heroes. When I finally played the the GameCube version, I was like, is this running on like a 360? It's so much more advanced than the PS2 version is.
Yeah, you play the PlayStation 2 version of Unleashed and Sonic and the Werehog. The Werehog doesn't look like he has fur. He looks like he's just shiny, I guess. It's weird. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Wii version of Cool Edge. It was cool. Sorry. And come back for part 19 when we do the HD level.